What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tyrion Immortal Empire's expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, the White Tower of Hoeth has joined us. Safari and Belenair the Wise are now part of our faction and now can no longer fight Delariel. We basically confederated the two idiots, or two of the two idiots that were fighting each other. These two idiots, of course, also still fighting each other, and I'm just going to have to ignore that for now, because there isn't really anything we can do about it, especially while we have the Confederation penalty up and running. Anyway, we did end off the episode with this Confederation, which means there's a few things that we'll need to take care of. We don't technically need the military structures here because it isn't really a... let's see, wait. You can construct silver helms and stuff. We can get reductions for chariots, swords masters, phoenix guard, dragon princes. Yeah, so we don't need the Warhol or the farrier here. We'd wanna keep the Warhol and the guy in Vale because we can get cheaper archer spears, gate guard, shadow warriors, etc, etc, etc. But it isn't really needed here. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, maybe keep this here for now, because I was going to delete the one in Lothern because there isn't any real need to have it there. So until we can replace this one and put it in Torsar War or wherever, then I guess we'll want to just keep one around just in case we need it. We don't need the Greater Grove here, however. And I guess we can keep the Promenade for now. I'm not complaining about the extra public order, especially when we have to deal with the Malice. Now, we went from plus 4k or 5k down to 1.8k, which cannot fly. So we need to delete some units. Now, for obvious reasons, the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower and the... okay, maybe not so obvious reasons, but the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers and the War Lions and the Eagles are unnecessary. And the reason that is because we do want them, but we can recruit them at rank 8. I'd really rather do that. Plus, in this particular location, with Kievan recruiting, they are dirt cheap. We've got 240 on the Eagles and 325 on the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. There's really no need to deal with level 3 or rank 3 or 4 guys. This is a solidly ranked Silverin Guard, however. Ships companies who can recruit at any rank we please. Shadow Warriors, I think... great, but don't have a place in the two armies that are going out next. And the Illyrian Reavers... depends on what we do for this army. Now, I was going to transfer these two Silver Helms plus the Illyrian Reavers to Tyrion. It's going to be a while until he has his Exalted Silver Helms, after all. I actually don't remember. Are the Exalted Silver Helms available at Tier 3 or 5? Exalted Athilmar, Exalted Silver Helms, yeah, so they're available at Tier 5, meaning it'll be a long time, so we can use regular Silver Helms for Tyrion's army. So we'll transfer him these guys and then upgrade you to Silver Helm when you're ready, which will be pretty soon. We can keep the Tyrannoc Chariots and Lothern Skycutters. We don't need a low-rank Lothern Seaguard. I guess we could keep one of the High Elven Rangers as a temporary unit, because it'll be eventually replaced by one of the Exalted High Elven Rangers, but for now, we'll keep you. We don't need the low-rank Spears, however. So you guys can go, like so. What did we keep here? Illyrian Reavers, Shadow Warriors, yeah, okay, so we'll get rid of you three. Then we'll transfer. I hate to get rid of troops, but we can't be running such a, well, not quite deficit, but we can't
Magic in purest form.
Can't be costing so much cash for us right now. And then Locomoida. Oh, I actually wanted to see something. We are at 150 research rate. If we disband you, do we keep your research rate, or is it gone for good? Out of curiosity. 150. We may keep it, but it also might be that it didn't update, and next turn it might disappear. So I don't even know why I bothered to try to check that out. Anyway, Silverin Guard. I guess we can keep you. I was going to make a spear-heavy army fairly soon to take advantage of the Exalted Spears, throw in some Silverin Guard, etc, etc, etc. We do have a significant buffs on spears for the Nagaryth patronage, as it gives the weapon strength plus 30%. Now, funnily enough, since it's Nagaryth patronage, we could combine regular spears with Shadow Warriors if we really wanted to, though obviously this doesn't really do anything for the Shadow Warriors, and in fact, wait a moment. So nothing here actually buffs Shadow Warriors, so yeah, we're free to basically put them into any army. Yeah, so you have the Illyrian Reaver buffs, but it'll be a bit until we can And we can generate an army from this, so we can wait. This is obviously dragons and dragon princes. Tyrion, or this is favor of Asuryan, so it's Phoenix Guard and Phoenixes, yes. This is Eagles and the Skycutters, which we may actually get on field rather soon. This is Swordsmasters, unsurprisingly, and we should actually take this for Belanair or Teclis, depending. Mastery of Elemental Winds for embedded mages, mist mages, and lore masters. Spell resistance for Swordsmasters. Cooldown for spells. Yeah, alright. That's not bad. And then Favor of the Warden we will transfer to an actual army once we're no longer using it to recruit. This is buffs for Oceanids and Sea Elementals and Lothern Sea Guard, which will be quite nice for a Oceanid army, and I have a plan. We saw that prince, or not prince, Sea Helm, that had... And we don't have it here anymore, but we eventually will see it again, I'm sure. That had the plus 1,000... Just double checking that it wasn't a princess. Oh, we should, now we should get the Exemplar back up and running, shouldn't we? Yeah. Oh well. It'll be 5 turns till we get that back up and running. Anyway, back to this. So we'll keep these guys around for now, we'll transfer them and use them in other forces. So that looks good to me. Alistar is stuck where he currently is. I don't remember who Quinn is. Oh, you're the administrator, so you're fine. We do have a little bit of money. Keeping in mind that, Nagarath is the only place I can build anything. I guess we will upgrade Nagarath itself, upgrade the tower, or Toranlik rather, and try to get that Sculptor's Workshop up and running as quickly as possible. The fact that it provides construction cost faction-wide for capitals is quite lovely as well. But this region being an all-red region, we definitely want the reductions. Although, of course, the time it takes is going to be an issue, but hopefully we can build the province up properly once we get the Invocation of Asuryan back up and running. Alright, anything else that we need to do this particular turn? I don't believe there was a blurb since we read them last time. Tyrion is quite damaged, but he is moving to be in range of Be'lakor and get that bell of the ball. Cadrill is moving to another island now that her army is fully maxed out, and I believe we were going to save points to get Hawkish Precision for her Sea Guard and her archers as fast as possible. Also, I just want to double check here. We have Asur take aim on the Sisters of Avalorn. Do we have... Oh, right, this doesn't buff Gate Guard. Oh, these guys have Asur take aim as well. Alright, so that's fine then. I just wanted to make sure that we had the various different auras. We have Asur flank them on the Shadow Walkers. Oh wait, it's Shadow Warriors that we care about, but they have the same thing. No, they have Asur take aim. Oh, interesting. Alright, well, it looks like we're good then, so we can skip, and end the turn. Like so. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything, and if I have, it's too late. Now, while the turn is ending, just a quick reminder, we do have that engagement threshold to consider. If we reach 400 likes and 70 comments in... Well, now this episode as well, we will do a double episode tomorrow on Saturday, so do keep that in mind if you're enjoying the campaign and want more sweet elf action as fast and as much as possible. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I've still got a solid number of turns until the... Yeah, this is too long of a blurb to read between. I wanted a short blurb for one of these settlements. This one's relatively short, but while I was looking for it, the turn ran out. I'll keep in mind the Val's Anvil. Oh, actually, no, wait. We've read the Val's Anvil one. What can you do? Alright, let's hope that Mr. Be'lakor is out here. As in, he's not dead. Alright, trait gain, campaign movement range for armies, good. Tyrion moves even further. Hero capacity for all heroes, very good. The Glittering Host, White Lions have been constructed, War Lions. Alright, we'll give those a read in a moment. Immediate or imminent rebellion rather at Nagarath. This we expected. Convoy completed, very, very nice. We have managed to reach the Star Tower. Did you get anything interesting out of this? You got a unit of Silver Helms, we got a War Standard of Corpse Surgeons. A regeneration for assigned unit, that's pretty nice. I just want to double check that was not given to the Lord. Wait. Can we see the convoys here? I don't know why I did it like this. Alright, let's actually look through the convoy tree then. Alright, you're returning. Yep. You have the Creation Scout. Oh, I guess I could have checked the legacy. Yes, we got to keep the War Standard. Good. Alright, you did level up though. Let's get you, I suppose, better scales and then move into hidden stores as fast as we can.
Of inspiration
Like so, and then send out a new convoy. And actually, speaking of the convoys, I think what I want for one of the goals of this campaign to have visited every single territory that we can visit with the convoys. There are a lot of them on the map, and I fully expect to have some real fun traveling to the furthest reaches, especially, as I will probably have a lot of chances to run into enemies. For now, we're traveling to the closest ones, but, you know, they'll proceed outward as they can. Ambassador to the Asuryan. Let's see, this is Agent of the Asuryan versus... I mean, I guess we could send this one again, because we get to play around with the Wood Elf units rather than just the other units. Oh wow, you ranked up to rank 6? Oh, pretty good. Alright, Ingmar Convoy, I guess we can send you to Citadel of Dusk then. Though you are the lowest rank, but we gotta go there anyway. Alright, to the Citadel of Dusk ye shall go. Let's hope that, that you can pull it off. Like so. Traveling further afield every time. Lovely. And at least visiting the other Elven colonies. Don't request, though. Oh, I did not check how your HP was looking. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. Now you're okay. And you do have the Knights of the Realm to rely upon. Then, we are going to spend the money to get rapid resettlement. Most importantly, while all of this is great, including the construction cost reduction for provinces and capitals, maximum number of active convoys is what I really want, to get those convoys really going and get us more of those lovely convoy fights. Then, since we now reached a second... wait a moment. Hey, we still got the crushing guy. Okay, we should probably get the crushing guy in an army somewhere. Can we get these guys here? Ah, we can't get nobles here. I was hoping to get the benefit of the extra +3 rank. But alas, no dice. Alright, fair enough. Let's go for the Elven Artisan here, briefly, and then let's go for the Homestead. We still need to grow Lothern as much as possible, and the growth compared to Bretonnia, which was like +800, is pretty minimal. But you know, elves not having insane amounts of growth kind of makes sense to me, so it's fine. You, sir, are no longer needed. Though I am curious, 3433, if we take you out... 3433. We disband you. 3397. Yeah, so you were making us a tiny bit of gold by existing with your money trait, but I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I did notice that there is another builder here, and 425 influence I think will pick you up. Oh wait, this is an inferior builder with only -5%. We need constructor? Are you a builder? No, you need an administrator. Okay, yeah, no. I'm not going for a regular builder. It's not worth the capacity. We will, however, get that noble with crushing because it's just so good. And 25 isn't so bad. Alright, then what I wanted to do is get a Sea Helm. Both of them are good here, but we're going to go for the ornithophile one. Lots of eagles. Some of you already know what's coming. Alrighty, then we will want to most likely transfer some units to recruit more stuff here. Alright, actually, you know what, let's move everybody first. And hello, Valmir Vorpalshard. Now, where are you going? I take it we can't reach you here? We cannot. Although I do wonder... if you're going for Elysia. We could move in March stance and risk him attacking us. I think we'd be fine even if he did. Just go like this. Close to him. We are in the Isles. And you know what, maybe even go down here just in case he moves towards the coastline so that we can attack him. And we'll try to find Bellicor out here somewhere as well. I wish I had a spare mage to send up here. While we do have a spare mage, that one's going to join an army for now. Alrighty, speaking of armies, Alistar. I do believe you and your handmaidens, as in the little army that is from Malarial, is going to pick up this island. Loot the carcass, and we have a Wailing Banner. We're going to need it. The Depth Guard, well, the immunity to psychology will be helpful here. The Treekin should be fine. I'm going to say give it to you. Depth Guard are going to be a problem. Luckily for us, they don't have handgunners, so I think we'll be okay. Go. Alrighty, I think I heard a for Ulthuan, but I couldn't quite tell what what was said, but I assume that's what it was. Anyway, here we go. I honestly really love these little battles where well, we're using like half stacks each, but the armies are evenly numbered. It makes for some very nice skirmishing in the sort of relatively early game still. We are going to start the battle off by moving in our two handmaidens. As we learned a couple of episodes ago, they're pretty okay at sniping single entities, or at the very least lords without an insane amount of HP. So they will use their 200 solid range to go after the enemy lord and annoy her, while we use our single unit, our single artillery piece, to similarly irritate the enemy depth guard with polearms. I don't expect the depth guard to take any significant amount of damage from a single non-buffed bolt thrower. Though again, I'm fully intending to build an army that's focused on the bolt throwers, and I'm interested in seeing what level we can push them to, but anyway. The idea here is to get the enemy moving towards us. Now, the enemy lord has suffered about 20% HP in damage, a little bit, and any hits that miss the depth guard will still hit the other nearby zombies, and they're liable to take a few more hits or a little bit more damage, rather, than the depth guard themselves. I do like that the vampire captain is advancing together with the depth guard, and that actually works nicely for us, though it does look cool. It works in our favor because stray shots from the two handmaidens will hit the depth guard instead of the enemy lord, who is still rushing towards us, nearly half HP now, and gonna get a cast of something off Spiteful Shot. Huh. It looks like you want to sit there and fire back at the two handmaidens. Interesting choice, I have to say. I'm not so sure it's gonna work out so well for you, but an interesting choice to be sure. And especially now that the enemy lord is down to about 20% of her HP, the enemy artillery piece is now taking hits from our Reaper Bolter, and another depth guard gets in the way, perhaps on purpose, to save the vampire fleet captain, or admiral here. And a zombie, that's a much better meat shield. We'll take another hit. Come on. And there we go, 2 hits simultaneously to the enemy lord, and I think one more will knock her out. In the meantime, though, the enemy army is here, and the rest of our own army starts to move. The enemy lord drops, our eagles drop down upon the zombie pirate gunnery mobs to prevent them from firing. Our dryads, our single vanguard deployable unit, has deployed behind the enemy army and is heading directly towards that unit of mortars, which are currently firing at our infantrymen, while Mr. Alistair moves through the ranks of the enemy zombies, specifically to tie up any range units, or as many range units as possible, and prevent them from firing. One of our units, bloodied rather, from killing all those zombies of Treekin, will rush through the melee units and start mincing their way through the super fragile handgunners, or hand cannons, I should say. And it looks like with all the enemy range units tied up, this battle is nearly ours. Once again, really liking the red and blue color scheme that we got for Lothar. It just works. I think I like it. I think it works a little bit better, in fact, than the red and blue color scheme that Belagar has for Clan Angrand. Go figure. It might also be the fact that the shields are red and blue, but there is more limited amounts of it on the armor, because we got a lot of the silver sort of scale visible. Either way, not important. What is important is that the battle is nearly ours, with the balance power shifting to about 95% in our favor. A rear charge from Alistar sees his Warline chariot in the midst of the enemy polearms, which are liable to do at least some damage to him. But at the end of the day, this is pretty much the last unit, as everybody else gets tied up and torn to shreds. 2 handmaidens gonna move into melee just because they can, and frankly, they'll probably get a little bit of splash damage in melee attacks, whereas we've seen the arrows only hit 1 unit at a time. And this is one of those situations where you gotta know how your single-shot units work. Funnily enough, the Bretonnian campaign, the faceless, nameless, crownless, whatever, the brigand heroes are also range heroes, but they are not as good against single targets, but they have an explosive or penetrating shot, I don't remember, and the critical thing is that they can actually kill a bunch of models at the same time with their shots by comparison, but are comparatively much worse at killing single entities. Anyway. Alright, a very nice fight, and will this take us to rank 12 at last for Mr. Alistar? Yes, indeed it will. Beautiful. And we will, of course, take the money for this. We got solid work out of the Great Eagles, completely unsurprisingly. The Treekin didn't do much damage, but held the tide of enemies back. The Vanguard deployed Dryads, hit the enemy mortars and destroyed them, though admittedly the mortars did do some solid 7k damage to our infantrymen. And then Alistar just generally irritated all of the enemy range units by charging through them. Lovely. Ransom captives. Like so. Getting a solid amount of islands, but that's one of the benefits of being on Ulthuan. Campaign movement range, Great Eagle for Alistar. No. Buddy, no. No Eagle for you. Only Chariot. And then we'll go for the Lion's Pride, making us, I believe, maxed out in your unique line. Yes? It looks like it. I haven't seen Royal Guard before, so that may be as well. But anyway, we will also then want... unfortunately, Vanguard Master is War Lions, and then I presume Master Strategist is White Lions. Alright, well, we'll start with Master Strategist then, I guess. The other option would be to go for Merchant Lord. Actually, right now we're making 3.7k in trade. I'm curious, though. 3.762 if we do Merchant Lord. 2%. 3.797, so that only about gives us 30 gold for 2%, 1% additional trade goods giving us 15 gold. Really not worth it. At least not at this time. Though the blue line of the elves is generally pretty okay, and obviously we'll get more trade goods as we go. Every single location with a trinket maker will be producing elven trinkets, and then the more we stack that, the more trade. Well, actually, speaking of trade, let's double check diplomacy. Anything interesting here? Unfortunately not. Alright, fine, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, Tyrion, you have moved. Alistar, did I move you back into the Twisted Glade? We'll keep the Twisted Glade for ourselves for now. Oh, although... Wait, with Tauran like about to rebel next turn. Maybe we send Alistar out here instead, have him land at Tauran like and deal with the units that spawn. I think I like that. Use it to level him up, plus he'll be closer to picking up his actual army here. Alright, actually speaking of his army, the White Lions and War Lions are going to go to him, plus the Rangers are, like so. Good. We also have a little bit of money to spend that... Oh, we don't want to build any capital buildings because we're waiting for rapid resettlement, but if there's non-capital building stuff, there may be an argument to be made for it. Aha, alright, so Alea Quinn, I would like you to go to... So this place can wait, but we can immediately build stuff here in Safari. Alea Quinn, go to Port Alistor. And I believe next turn we will also have Valerial come back up, which is pretty important for a number of reasons. Alright, like so. And then immediately start pumping out those Elven Craftsmen. Like so, and then go back here because we generate more money by your presence in Lothern thanks to the plus 17 income from all buildings. Good. Then, Nagaroth, we are... I mean, we can build this thing right now. Oh wait, actually that's another main settlement, so we could just wait. Oh wait, does this reduce construction time as well? -1 turn. Huh. We could save a turn. You know what, cancel this, get the money back. It'll only cost us 1 turn, but we can save a decent chunk of change on that as well. So we will ignore you, and we will ignore you, and then we will... Well, we'll always be ignoring Phoenix Gate, to be perfectly honest. The gates are rather useless. So yeah. Then... Bellinaire. You will need to transfer and deliver some of this stuff, but you will also be using some random troops to create an army and fight with it, because we obviously want you leveling. You're a legendary lord after all, and we want you to be at a decent level by the time you have your swords masters. Oh, did I end the turn last time without reading the blurbs? No, I did not. Ooh, I got worried there for a second. You know, let's read a blurb and then we'll do other stuff after. The Glittering Host, White Lines. We'll do the White Lines and War Lines blurbs together. The White Lions have served, and Alistar just fought, the White Lions have served as the personal guard of the Phoenix King since the time of Calidor I. While hunting in Chrace, Calidor received news that he was to be the next Phoenix King. He immediately took the road to the shrine of Asuryan, but was intercepted by Dark Elf assassins. He would surely have died but for the intervention of a party of Chracian woodsmen who swept out of the forest to defend him. The Chracians slew the Dark Elves and thereafter saw Calidor safely to the Phoenix Shrine, employing every iota of their woodcraft to avoid further Dark Elf ambushes that lay in their path. Calidor's first act, once crowned as Phoenix King, was to form the Chracians into an official bodyguard based in Lothern. A warrior can only join the ranks of the White Lions after displaying considerable valor and skill upon the battlefield. He must also then complete the traditional rite of a Chracian warrior, to hunt and kill a white lion. These great cats are among Chrace's fiercest creatures. They stand as tall at the shoulder as a horse, and a swipe of their claws is enough to shatter a spine. There are accounts of prides of white lions ravaging convoys and even attacking isolated villages, should they become hungry enough. To slay such a beast is therefore an exceptionally difficult task, but if the warrior succeeds, he is entitled to wear the lion's pelt as a mark of courage. The thick pelt has another use, too. Worn over armor, it offers excellent protection against arrows and shot. Although every Phoenix King since Calidor the Conqueror has offered his bodyguard their choice of replacement weaponry, the White Lions continue to proudly bear the traditional woodsman's axe into battle. Many of the axes are ancient heirlooms handed down from father to son across centuries untold, yet they never lose their keen edge, and can fell a tree or cleave a man in half with but a single blow. White Lion regiments are often dispatched to join the armies of Ulthuan during the times of particular danger, tasked with protecting High Elf generals and mages or bolstering the overall strength of the army. White Lions are renowned for their unflinching courage in the face of overwhelming odds and terrible horrors, protecting their charge wherever, whatever, the foe, and regardless of the danger to themselves. Lovely. I like this sort of the humble origins of the unit. Well, relatively humble. No elf is humble. And contrary to the virtue of humility, no Bretonnian is really humble. But anyway, of all the war lines now, of all the beasts that prowl within the mysterious forests of the elven realm of Chrace, the war lions, the white war lions, are perhaps the best renowned. These fearsome beasts are deadly hunting cats, powerful creatures with a muscular frame and a sharp, cunning mind. Almost as tall at the shoulders as an elven steed, a war lion is far stronger, able to break bones with each sweep of its claws and shatter even helmeted heads with a single chomp of its fanged maw. When a war lion pride hunts, when war lion prides hunt, none within their chosen grounds are safe. They will range far and wide, coordinating by instinct in search of prey. A war lion's loyalty is to its kin, first and last. This fidelity, along with their incredible ferocity when they attack, has given rise to a great many songs and poems throughout Ulthuan, and it is with a clear measure of pride that the Phoenix King's bodyguard have adopted the famed White Lions of Chrace as their namesakes. The High Elves of Ulthuan do not regard the war lions as evil creatures, but rather savage beasts to be feared, respected, and occasionally, in the case of the hunters of Chrace, nurtured. When preparing for war, it has been known for High Elf mages to bind a pride of war lions to their will. Such a gesture is not without risk, for the lions of Chrace are intelligent and patient beasts, and they are not easily controlled. Even when armored for war and bound by powerful magic, white lions maintain a lethal predatory instinct, and they remain vigilant against any threat, constantly ready to pounce should danger present itself. Whilst scrolls of binding will unify and direct the war lions of Chrace for a time, a cunning mage will strive to bond with her predatory companions. Once accepted by the pride, the war lions will remain loyal to the wizard long after the rites of binding have dissipated and all magical bonds are gone. One who has been adopted by a pride of war lions in this way can find herself with a bodyguard that even the Phoenix King himself might envy. Well, that's lovely. And also, that probably means we'll want to use a beast mage in Alistar's army, now that I think about it. Our influence is rather low. Alright, let's maintain some level of influence. Alrighty. Now that we've read that, what we want to do is move Billionaire this way. He'll have to travel through Phoenix Gate. Ugh, gonna cost us 400 gold per turn to not be in a settlement. But I'd rather not waste half a turn of movement.
Dispatch me.
Then, are you actually, well, I guess we can, just 1 second. You can go for route march. Oh! Huh. These guys have naval discipline. They don't have... Well, that's interesting. They don't have the plus 100 XP gain per turn thing. Huh. Go figure. Well, it's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, well, fair enough. You're also probably gonna need mages, mist mages. But anyway, you are still building a couple more war lines for fella there. He's gonna be fairly close by, though, so the delivery will be quick. Anyway, I would like you to first build 3 more Great Eagles. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You may approach.
It's probably not enough Eagles. Technically, you have one, but frankly, we can... Well, keep that eagle for now.
Ulthuan.
More eagles. And we have to recruit now because with next turn we won't be able to. And then I would like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 eagle club bolt throwers. Is that all for now? Oh, or do we want to get a couple other sky cutters? Again, this thing will disappear, so we can't do anything else. Although, if we keep recruiting, what we could just do is take the rest of the units here. It'll cost us more money per turn. And this is going to cost us a lot more money per turn, but now that we're here and recruiting, I want to get a couple of armies up there. And doing stuff as they do. Let's get a couple more Lothern Skycutters like this, then. These actually cost money to recruit here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I believe, okay, you have Ithilmar chariots. In fact... I would prefer, let's say... I don't want to go too heavy on the Ithilmar chariots. Let's delete you. We'll go 2 Ithilmar, 2 Tyrannok for now. And then we'll probably get you more Tyrannok chariots afterwards with some more Lothern Skycutters, but to get more of them, we will need additional capacity, right? What actually do we get capacity for them from? It's not this. It builds them, but it doesn't give you capacity for them. A moment. Wait. What the heck? How do we get capacity for Skycutters? This is Sea Guard. Gate Guard. White Lions. Am I crazy or do I not see Skycutters anywhere? Gotta be something. I probably missed it somewhere. Wait, flying building. Phoenix Guard, Flamespire Heart. Nope, not flying building. Huh. Local recruitment capacity. High Elves. Oh, they just count them as chariots. That's probably why. Yeah, okay. They just count as chariots. Okay, so that's why we have 4 because we have 2 of them. Huh, I wonder. Then it's each, right? Meaning, as soon as we upgrade you to tier 4, we'll still be able to build 4 Lothern Skycutters with bolt throwers. Okay, well that's fine then. Build those that you can here. We'll use the Eagle Claw bolt throwers as well, together with some chariots for a nice sort of mechanical army. You know what? Build a couple of Tyrannok, extra couple of Tyrannok chariots. Then I know they're a little bit expensive, and I just got rid of an Ithilmar chariot, but this should be fine. And that's it for the recruitment for the next 4 turns, and the horrific negative money that we'll have once that's done. Just gonna have to make up for it by picking up more islands. Go grab that Remnants of Battle, please. I don't know why I took you out of March Stance. Arabian Arms. Heavy Iron, good. And then is this a battle? Shipwreck, most likely. Go right beside the shipwreck and get ready. Hello! This is much more important. That's 20k right there. And why is there nobody at Island of Blood? Oh! Huh. We're low errant. We could probably ally with you, and at the very least get a trade agreement with you by occupying Island of Blood and then trading it to you if you really wanted to. I wonder how much it would cost. Alright, you stay there, Cadril. I'm glad we came here. I'm very glad. Oh, Heshwatla, are we... No diplomatic oh wow, we don't want a diplomatic contact with you. The ruler's prejudice is pretty negative right now. Alright, Trillion, move this way. I'd like you to go up here to deal with the Cult of Pleasure and steal their attack, but I also don't want you to catch sight of Mazda Mundi as yet. Because he might attack us. I would prefer to avoid having to kill him. This land did teach the High Elves a lot after all, so it would be unfortunate to have to do so. Alrighty, building-wise, we're good. At the very least, we are waiting for next turn for both Ilariel and the other thing. The recruitment is good, Billionaire is good. Actually, Billionaire will want a... Actually, your items are Cloak of the Stars and the Book of the Phoenix, and the Blade, meaning we will not get the Staff, meaning you're free to pick a staff. Then we can give you one of the special stave. Well, but once you actually fight. Let's look at our itemization. Oh, actually, speaking of staves, fuse. Starwood staff. And go for it, why not? Targeting range, miscast base chance. Good for now. I don't really care for the Dawn Stone, so we will probably get rid of you once we can, you know, combine you with something. You're a legendary lord, so I guess we could give you the Armor of Fortune. Golden Crown of Atrazar is going to Tyrion, unless I'm mistaken. You can have a Sword of Strife, I guess, for now. Yeah, and you, sir. I'll give you the Giant Blade for now as well. I don't know about the Khaine's Ring of Fury as yet. You are going to be Arathond, the Silverin Talon. There we go. Another one of my favorite community canon lords from, I believe he originated in the Imric campaign, that we've used him a couple of times now. And he's our eagle guy. A Caledonian that was mocked for not being able to rouse a dragon, but then became, you know, pretty adept at using eagles in combat to the point that the sound of flapping wings terrifies all his foes. And in the campaign he originated from, he by himself basically conquered all of this. All of this one army, effectively. The poor Dark Elves did not have a good time dealing with those eagles. He will still have eagles in this army, but in that previous campaign, the army that I built for him was effectively Silverin Guard, Eagleclaw Bolters, and Eagles. He is not going to have Silverin Guard or Eagleclaw Bolters this time around. We'll do Eagles and Skycutters and make him an all-flying army. Throw a few nobles in there, a few mist mages. It'll be nice, I think. And it'll function differently from that one. Alright, I believe that's all we can do. We'll save the rest of the money because we're about to spend a lot of it next turn. I just want to double check what the public order is like. Here in the Twisted Glade it's bad, but we'll collect the money until we're ready to trade it to these guys for Vol's Anvil. And this place will rebel, but we should be able to attack the rebels. This -11 is not great, though. We may have to pop off Tyrion's quest battle sooner than I'd like, just to counteract this, but it is what it is. For now, though, we will... Yeah, the Imminent Rebellion is fine. Skip, enter. Alright, at the very least, Lothern is still completely positive, and that's where most of our money is coming from, so that's what counts. Well, let's see if Bellicor will take the opportunity to attempt to attack us. But whether he does... Oh, I forgot one of the blurbs, which disappeared. I don't remember which one it was, though. Oh, it was one of the Sea Helms. Yeah, it does disappear, unfortunately. Oh well. Not a big deal. We've gotten a lot of info about all of the sea stuff over the course of the campaign, so the Sea Helms themselves, aha. Perhaps not the most necessary. Hey, Alistair, you could probably help out with this. Well, that's lovely. Join war against Bellicor. We will, but we will ask whoever is willing to give us more money. Or perhaps if we can get an agreement of some kind that we don't have. Both would be tremendously valuable here. Oh, and I'm willing to bet we'll get a blurb about the Great Eagles. As well, Rebellion in Nagrith, and surprisingly, Confederation Worldwalkers in Varg are ready for GTL Ariel the Radiant, and a rapid resettlement. Beautiful. There's the Great Eagles, I knew it, and hello. Recruitment costs -35 for Phoenix units. That's great, minus the fact that we can't build Phoenixes, game. What the heck is wrong with you? And it's for 3 turns. Yay. Yeah, so unless the Shrine of Asuryan allows us to recruit Phoenixes, but it does not, this is completely useless to us. Nonetheless, I'm going to give this a read. In an expression of deep and abiding respect for their winged mounts, a detachment of Phoenix Guard has journeyed to the Shrine of Asuryan and performed a ritual to Akshi, the Wind of Fire. Thus invigorated, Akshi blows hard and fierce, in turn suffusing the Flamespire Phoenixes with a newfound vitality. Even the Frostheart Phoenixes are impressed with this gift to their younger brethren. As a result, the Phoenix recruitment costs have fallen faction-wide. But it's not permanent. Alrighty, then, we've got the tech. I'm not going to go into spy networks immediately. I do like the additional allied recruitment capacity and the convoys gaining an additional unit when completing their journey. So I think regardless of the fact that this is 5k, we're going to pop this off right now. And then we do got to go upholders of order, trade advancements. There's a lot of not public order, relationship bonuses that we can take advantage of. Then, what I would like to do is, I guess we could start at the Tower of Lysaean. Oh, actually, no, I lied. We will want to reduce construction costs wherever we're going to build most stuff right now. Which is going to be here. 2,900. I mean, maybe not most, but anyway. You, go here. Build this, it's reasonably cheap anyway. And then go to the edge of this territory. We can, I guess, build you, and then wait for Alariel next turn. Like so. Then, Alariel, we're going to move you in to Caranthel to start, like so. And we're going to go for Tradition Dictates to counteract the negative public order, get a little bit of extra money, get the construction cost reduction. Servant of Isha, this is great, but we can't build handmaidens yet, so it doesn't matter. And we can't build these guys yet either. Inspiring Presence, Root Marcher. Anything else help us in our current location? It does not. For a few turns, some turns until we can afford a proper army for Alariel with her sisters and handmaidens, we're just going to leave her as she is and use her to build up our empire. And again, I feel like that makes sense for the role of the Everqueen. Alright, go here, Quinn, and with the construction cost reduction, we're down to 900 for a tower. I like it. And then we'll use that to build up these as well next turn. You go here, however, because we can get more money. Down to 1,800 now. Not great. And I guess we can... Actually, no, this is dirt cheap anyway. Build you anyway. Alright, and then these three will bounce between 3 settlements and reduce all of those constructions, while Alariel also uses her, visit the place ability to, well, visit places. Alright, next up, you're recruiting already, so the Rally Citizen Militia... we need to keep it because of the local recruitment capacity, so not much we can do about that. Alright, then, Be'lakor. Well, this isn't Be'lakor himself. Estan Koldai. Huh. I do wonder if Be'lakor is dead. Again, I really wouldn't want to miss out on Bell of the Ball because it's such a good defeat trait. Careful. Don't identify Mazdamundi. And, I believe Mazdamundi took Skeggi. Alright, so you're gonna have to go all the way like this. Oh, this is 2 turns, or 3 turns that you're not stealing tech now, which is kind of annoying. But, well, we'll steal tech from Morathi. Though that feels like a iffy idea at best. Anyway, we haven't fought... Hello. Oh, you were probably gonna take that free Skull Reef, weren't you? That's not happening. Screw you. Tyrion. You are going to attack Valmir Vorpal Shard while Alistar moves in to reinforce in March Stance, I guess. And I'm gonna hope that he can still land a Tauran like before these guys attack and then defend. And we can make the delivery as well. Alright, you can go here. Leech XP. Oh, this is probably gonna cripple your movement range.
How can I assist you?
Can't quite tell. No, you should still be able to reach it. Good. Alright. Then, Be'lakor, you are currently at war with Krace and Kathik. We are in alliances and trade agreements with both. Krace is, however, the one that we want to confederate, so we'll join your war against the Shadow Legion, the Van Heimlings, and you'll give us 2.3k. We can make use of that. Like so. Alright, it looks good to me. Actually, while we're in diplomacy, anything interesting? Yeah, no, we need more trade goods in order to get more trade going. And hello. I see Sarah is landing once more. Which is a Sapphire Guardian Phoenix. My kingdom for a chest of sustenance. Alright. Go to Valmir, Tyrion.
For my queen.
Who is going to melt away here. I don't even know where the heck he was going. I feel like he was going to sneakily attack us. This is a suspicious direction of travel from him. Anyway, we're fighting this guy.
The greater world means nothing without the Asur to guide it.
Alrighty, here we go. I'm sorry, but the greater world means nothing without the Asur to guide it, and that's your typical elf for you. Oh, Lord, alrighty. Well, either way, we got our first fight against the Shadow Legion, and they are going to suffer the wrath of the Sword of Khaine, but not before they suffer the wrath of our mage here, Vinola, who's going to cast quickly, or attempt to cast the Fiery Convocation, but the AI immediately reacts to it, moving the Worshippers of the Crow away, but leaving the regular Marauders to die. Single unit of basic Marauders wiped out by the spell, making it not super worth it, but what can you do? Besides, we do have other spells where that came from. I'm going to pop off a quick Wind Blast, but the Forsaken are too heavily armored to suffer significant damage from it. Probably should have popped that through the Worshippers of the Crow, but they were moving at the time. Anyway, the enemy Exalted Hero moves around, and we cast the Sword of Khaine immediately in his way so that he goes into Rampage and attacks Tyrion. Tyrion himself, in the meantime, will ride through, going after the enemy lord, hitting him for 40% of his HP with his first blow, 40% of his HP with his second blow, and killing him with his third. With the Curse of Anarion up and running, hitting for 1.6k weapon strength, he's doing pretty well. Our mage quickly casts a Chain Lightning amongst the enemy Forsaken and Chaos Warriors, and that much better at dishing out the armor-piercing damage than the Wind Blast, which is meant for garbage units. Tyrion will continue the fight alone, unsupported, but, well, he doesn't really need support from our main army because Alistar has arrived, and in fact arrived behind the enemy force, and will get ready to move towards Tyrion. Speaking of Tyrion, looks like the enemy Exalted Hero is the only one left who dares to face him. After Tyrion knocks out a few trolls, and frankly the Exalted Hero quickly loses 80% of his HP, a unit of Forsaken rushes to fill his space as he escapes. Doggos have arrived with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of them, smashing into our lines, but fortunately our Lothern Sea Guard, well, guard the backliners. And with a little bit of help from the charging Silver Helms, we should be able to take care of these doggos without a problem. Those that crashed into the Phoenix Guard got annihilated. And similarly, over on the right flank, we used our Noble and our Phoenix to protect the right flank. And are now moving the Pure Main Company into the forest, where if any other dogs should attempt to rush our ranged units. Oh, this is not a Pure Main Company. Company of the Calendarian. I saw the Great Axes and I was like, you know, must be White Lions. But the telltale lack of the War Lion pelt is, well, yeah. Anyway, Company of the Calendarian quickly tears those dogs to shreds. I do believe 2 more are on the way, so they can hack a few more of them apart. And they should carry the day here just fine, especially considering the rest of the battle looks to be over. Alistar has arrived to fight together with Tyrion, regardless of the Sword of Khaine, and back-to-back the two clear out the Marauders and Forsaken that remain, shattering the enemy army and giving the battle to us. Oh, lovely. First, a little debut battle against the Shadow Legion, no problem, as this army was in march stance and thus got crippled by the lack of vigor, and I'm sure we'll get a better fight out of Be'lakor later on. Not that it wasn't a decent fight. Alright, there we go. No problem at all. Tyrion just wrecking face there. The damage isn't crazy high, but the damage tilt is gold value, 37k, just by virtue of 3.7k rather, and just by virtue of killing off the enemy lord and obliterating that poor Exalted Hero, plus whatever else attempted to foolishly surround the guy with the Sword of Khaine. You should really be running instead, though we won't have it for... I really wish there was a counter until the next stage. Like the Nemesis Crown says, like, 3 more battles to go to the next level. Sword of Khaine, come on. I get that it's an older mechanic, but nonetheless, come on. Anyway, didn't actually need to do too much with the rest of our units as Alistar's army came in to help, and just overall the enemy got obliterated. Great work out of the Keepers of the Flame for killing off whatever came towards our army and actually managed to reach it. Solid work with 90 kills on the Silver Helms, and rank 7 on them as well. And the Company of the Calendarian obliterating piles of dogs within the forest over on the right flank. Lovely. Alright. Right flank? Yeah, it was right flank. Alright, good. Income from post-battle loot kidnapper, sure, why not? A gleaming pennant I don't care for, but it's just fine. And then Alistar, go to Tor Anlek, please.
Lord of the Phoenix Court.
Yes. You can go after Mr. Gersion here. Tyrion, you can then set yourself back into March or full speed stance and start heading out towards... Huh. I was about to say we could do the quest battle, but if we do it, we'd want to do it next turn because... Yeah. Unless there's another rebellion coming immediately. Wait, let's double check. This is kind of important. What are we looking at here? -4, -20 at the Clawed Coast, but this one will be traded, so it's quite irrelevant. Nagaroth is now fine, though... Oh, actually. We can now build this, can we not? Yes. Build this, and wait. We should send the second convoy. Should I have done that last turn, or was that this turn? No, that was this turn. Alright. So you're going to the Citadel of Dusk. I guess we'll try the Great Turtle Isle and go by this area as well to complete the areas around this place. Whether it works out remains to be seen, but we'll see. And you're returning, so Agent of Asuryan, that's you. Did you level? You did not. Alright, add Master to the Great Turtle Isle. Like so. I wish you luck. Alright, 2 more convoys on the way, 7 and 10 turns, so they'll be gone for a while, but that's fine. Don't request. Okie dokie. No rights, at the very least we don't want to pop off any right now. Tyrion... Oh, I stopped you moving because I considered doing the quest battle, but we're waiting on that. You are going this way. All the way out here. Military presence in Hende, ha. That's probably where Be'lakor is right now. Alright, we'll move towards him, see if he's willing to fight Tyrion. In theory, Tyrion's army looks kind of weak, but, you know, Tyrion himself not so much. Oh, actually, speaking of, I believe I was going to give you a lovely little present in the form of the Golden Crown of Atrazar. Yeah. And you still have the Potion of Toughness, which is fine, though we can now, Dawnstone Dragonbane Gem, fuse you into an Obsidian Amulet, which is fine for certain heroes and such. How's the leveling, incidentally? We're at 2, get 2 more points in Bowmaster, and we'll be ready to go through Rally and get those rank 7 benefits up and running shortly. Good. Alright, so that's Tyrion. Since we fought, I do believe we have now the... Is it just the Great Eagles? Is that the only blurb we got? Yeah. Alright, Great Eagles it is. I love the Great Eagles. The Great Eagles of Ulthuan have always been firm allies to the Elves. The histories tell that the two races have fought in one another's cause since the time of the demon invasion, but legend carries the friendship deeper into the past. Indeed, in some tales it was Talon, king of the Eagles, who bore Aerith Kial away to the underworld at Asuryan's command. Like the High Elves, Great Eagles are haughty creatures who long remember insults and do not suffer foolish company gladly. When High Elf armies assemble, the noble Eagles too join the battle. They swoop down upon the crew of enemy war machines, tearing them apart with powerful talons before using mighty wings to glide swiftly away. Alright, so this blurb is a little bit not enough information. The critical thing to understand about the Great Eagles is that they are, as it says, they are a race of other... They're not just, you know, they're not beasts, they're not creatures. They can speak, they are intelligent, and it's genuinely, effectively, an alliance with the elves that they have. And granted, they don't always speak to you, but... I mean, dragons are the same way, in that they will never speak to anybody, basically, except Imric. But, yeah, so eagles are not beasts is really the thing that this should have mentioned, but anyway, not a big deal. Let's go to the next fight, I guess, unless there's more buildings to be buildified. We got that fight with Cadrill, and no, actually there's nobody else. Alright, fine, fair enough. Cadrill, you got us a 20k money to get out of this lovely Skull Reef. Raid the Cove, to be sure. Pyrrhic victory, and ooh, 2 Rotting Leviathans, we are damaged, and more fights against the Vampire Coast. 2 Carronades now, that's a problem. Alright. And of course the Depth Guard. With twin axes to Mensar infantry. Should be a good fight. Go.
Everqueen.
Alrighty, here we go for the Everqueen indeed. We have got to collect a Skull Island. We have got a lot of decent units in the enemy army, especially the 2 Rotting Leviathans with their massive 160 armor, their bolstered armor trait and all that. They're going to be rather difficult to deal with, but we'll do our best. In the meantime, we are going to use the hill for cover here now. The enemy artillery consists of 1 unit of mortars and 2 units of carronades. Carronades being direct fire units. Usually we would deploy back here, but here we use the hill in such a way that the enemy cannot fire at our units at all, at the very least not with the carronades, and we'll have to contend with firing at us with its mortar. All of our units, however, are arc shots, and arcing shots rather, and the bowmen will arc their fire over the hill and into the enemy. Take a few mortar shells to the face, I'm sure, but at the same time, we should be able to deal with the enemy mortars in, well, hopefully short order. We're going to pop off that Gem of Sunfire. It's a basic sort of flame vortex, as in it's a much weaker variant of the spell. But that's alright, it'll do a little bit of damage. We'll hit the Depth Guard with the Flensing Heart to reduce their army, as they're going to be a critical unit to focus down. In the meantime, our units of Illyrian Reavers, Exalted Illyrian Reavers I should say, archers and melee alike have been vanguard deployed and are now behind the enemy army. The Illyrian Reaver archers using their anti-large arrows to fire into the Rotting Leviathans, while the others get ready to charge the remnants of the enemy artillery crews, as well as the ranged units that still remain. Quick little charge from our Illyrian Reaver archers. They will take a little bit of damage from the enemy hand cannons, but that's alright. In the meantime, however, the enemy dangerous units have closed. Those Depth Guard with twin axes are going to be extremely threatening to the Lothern Sea Guard, and if it wasn't for the fact that they got pincushioned on the approach, they would have hacked our main line apart without trouble. 3 units of Depth Guard with twin axes should face no issue killing off 4 units of Lothern Sea Guard. Unfortunately for them, they were down to like 10% HP by the time they reached us, with the exception of this one, which is still a little bit healthier, and is being supported by the Rotting Leviathan, which is taking many an arrow for their trouble. The Rotting Leviathan, however, is down to 20% HP, and the second one down to 15. Being focused down as they are by 4 units of range each. Like so, first of the Rotting Leviathans drops, and it looks like the enemy Vampire Fleet Admiral closes the distance with, surprisingly, our Handmaiden. Or perhaps not so surprisingly, as the Princess was busy facing off against the enemy Rotting Leviathan. Oh, those are some nice animations, huh? I should keep the Princess on foot. I like the fighting in melee with the bow and the blade alike. Plus the armor looks pretty good too. Go figure. Although I question the lack of forearm armor. Or not forearm, upper arm armor. What would you call this? The piece of armor that would go on the upper arm. I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, vambraces are on the forearms, so what's above the vambrace? Anyway, the zombie pirate deckhand mob is the last unit remaining. In the meantime, we have destroyed all the zombies, and we'll claim their Skull Island treasure for our own. Also, nice job to the Illyrian Reavers. We didn't quite get to watch them fight as much as we might have liked, but not to worry, I'm sure we'll see plenty of them, as they're a pretty critical component of the victories of this army. Plus, I like the fact that we were able to get Illyrian Reavers onto the battlefield earlier. Last time I played, I didn't really use them as much, and I'd like to use them and Tyrannoc chariots, and just generally units that I did not use as much last time, more this time around, to keep it interesting. Anyway. Alrighty, there we go. A decisive victory, but severe damage to at least 1 unit of the Sea Guard, the Mathlands Patrollers, and 2, actually, the Shore Watchers as well, which actually got hit by, I believe, 1 of the units of Depth Guard, plus the Rotting Leviathan, which unsurprisingly is not a good matchup for 1 single unit of Sea Guard to hold the line. But hold the line they did, and we did manage to carry the day. Solid work out of our Exalted Illyrian Reavers melee. Actually better than the Exalted Illyrian Reaver archers, because unfortunately the Vampire Coast isn't really a good matchup for them, as they have a tendency to just get outranged and threatened by all the enemy range, since they are fragile. But nonetheless, good work out of everybody. And for the the named Sea Guard with 12k damage. It's Ocean's Elven. Again, top contender for favorite names so far. Very, very good. Exalted heavy arrows this time around. Yeah, this is a good example. So in previous battles, the Exalted High Elven Archers, the regular ones, were out-damaging the Exalted High Elven Archers with heavy arrowheads, because these guys have, you know, higher non-armor piercing damage by a considerable margin. But here, with the focus fire on the Depth Guard and the Rotting Leviathans, heavily armored units, these guys suddenly started to do a lot of work, which makes sense. Lovely. And we'll take that 3k money. I'd love to heal, but no. And then grab that 20k from that Skull Island. Lovely. And out of curiosity, how much would it cost to... we can reach the shipwreck from here rather than grabbing the island, but it's only 943 to colonize it. I think we'll colonize it then. We'll use this time to heal. Oh. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. It's a pile of rats here. They're at war with Citadel of Dusk and the Cult of Sotek. The problem is we can't attack them, because our convoys pass by here, so when you can't go back out to sea, oh no. At least you won't suffer attrition, but that's unfortunate. That is tremendously unfortunate. Go Lilith's Blessing, I guess, and while we will trespass, we'll just sit here. You definitely go for Ladrail's Shroud, because the Overcast ability allows you to heal, which is very much needed here. You can get Retinue Trainers, sir, which is what we've been waiting for, to get the additional XP per turn, and then you are waiting for Hawkish Precision, so nothing for you. What about you? Definitely Bowmaster. Go figure. Alright, looks good to me. Next up... oh, damn rats. They fooled me again. Alrighty, you guys... so you're still recruiting and waiting for this. Obviously, Eataine wants his eagles. Can we... we could, in theory, actually take this time now to grab the War Lions. Transfer, perhaps, back some of this stuff. Wait. Yeah, eagles are going to Eataine himself, but so are the rest of these eagles, so we'll have to come back here anyway. Yeah, alright. Belinair, I'm going to temporarily give you the Exalted Spears and the Lothern Sea Guard, because that'll make your army. This stuff just has to be delivered to Alistar, while Belinair is free to move. And... he can reach this. Can he... not in regular stance, though. Alright, fair enough. Go here. This guy's not gonna attack anyway. And I guess you're both going out here. Like so. Eataine has to return to pick up his army, but the two of you can fight. And actually, next turn, we can pick up Rahagra's Pride in the Pure Main Company here. Oh, actually, speaking of the named units of White Lions, let's name a couple of these guys. You can be Order of the Main, like so, and you can be Pride of Ulthuan. Double like so. War Lions, you can be Aslan's Kin. And you can be the White Claws, like so. Since the Rangers are going to be in this army, we should also... wait, give this Ranger... that will eventually hopefully be replaced by an Exalted Ranger, but anyway. Oh, I like that the Rangers have a little bit of shielding on them. Isn't that nice? We need some themed names for these guys, because they're going to be part of the White Lion army, but sort of a woodsman army, I suppose. Anyway, you won't be able to hold all of this stuff. Most of it's Alariel's, mind you, but I suppose Belinair can hold some of it instead. He's also holding some stuff for the princess here. Oh, we got a punitive one, which is the other really, really good one. Missile resistance minus 20% and missile strength plus 20%. Again, Elven princesses, so much better than the princes. It's kind of ridiculous. You can at least have Dragonweld, but nonetheless. We still have another Crushing Sea Helm, which is great as well. Anyway, we'll deal with this later. The transferring of the stuff. I mean, this guy's still recruiting after all. Yeah, alright. Anybody else? Ilair. Oh, right. You are the new noble. You are going this way with your crushing. Crush you shall, my friend. And in fact, I'd like to double-check if there's any new interesting nobles. Resilient is good for a sort of solo duelist, like really good, but you know, I'd really rather buff the army, typically, rather than a single lord, so this is all fine. And we'll ignore the mist mages for now. Though I do want a couple of mist mages in the flying army. Alright, building, we did. Only the Phoenix Gate remains. Diplomacy, we will double check in case anything changed, but it looks like it hasn't. Therefore, we're free to skip, and end the turn. And let's hope that Bellicor moves out here. And not after these guys and then, you know, dies. I don't know how many turns we have left on the Sword of Khaine, but I'd really rather not push it in terms of... damn those rats. Push it in terms of not being able to execute Bellicor with it before we put the sword back. But I guess we're going to find out. Ooh, hello. Oh, we've already read the Shrine of Khaine blurb, and the camera's too far from any other blurb, unfortunately. I know that there's got to be a blurb at well, all of this is Albion. At... Corylus here. Actually, if he loses his main stack, we might be able to confederate him. I gotta double check what the confederation is looking like. In a moment. I can't believe we're so far from any blurb. Damn you. Alright, there we go. Confederation between Eataine and Talashland. Ooh. Now, normally I would say maybe this is not necessarily a good idea to just randomly attack Dastan Koldai. However, holding the Sword of Khaine as we are, I don't think Tyrion would say no. I don't think anybody holding the Sword of Khaine would say no, so we are not gonna. Ready for duty, somebody, Archmage of Shadows. Okay, good. +1 allied recruitment, but more importantly, allied convoys gain stuff. Eagle Club Bolt Throwers have been recruited, which we will read the blurb in a moment. The Line of Anarian. Ooh, another good one. Alright. We'll read one blurb, then we'll fight, and then we'll read the other. Let us first, however... Construction time for have entertainment, aristocracy, and embassy buildings. Right now, we only build entertainment buildings. Again, it will pay for itself, but I think I'd rather have the control in the diplomatic relations, so we're going to go upholders of order. Then, let's read the blurb. Palather and Seaguard are masters of the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, are masters of the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers that not only play pivotal roles upon the battlefield, but also bristle from the sides of Ulthuan's warships and the battlements of her fortresses. Eagle Claws can be found not only in Lothern, but throughout High Elf lands. The weapon's canny design allows its crew to alternate fire modes at will. It can loose single shots capable of disemboweling a rampaging giant or clutches of 6 lesser bolts to mow down massed infantry before they reach the High Elf lines. Such as the skill of the Eagle Claw's Seaguard crew and the speed with which they reload, that only seconds separate one deadly volley from the last. Alright, lovely. Alistar, Elenair, and Arathon are all gonna gang up on this poor guy.
Servant of the tower.
Yeah, servant of the tower. Actually don't know whether you can all be in range. Alistar will have you attack. So, we will auto-resolve this. I don't imagine anybody will die. I'm not going to check. Though I am now concerned... No, we're okay. Alrighty, and then take the money for obvious reasons. I like so. Enemy killed in battle. Good. Then, you will spend money. We're down to 1,000 gold per turn. Probably going to have to curtail the recruitment after this and, you know, rebuild our coffers. Oh, 2 more regiments of renown, meaning we got... Okay, we'll read those 2 at the same time. You...
Loremaster of Hoth.
Yeah, Loremaster of Hoth. You will transfer to Alistar like this. Alistar, you can keep your life mage for now. If we do this, you are at 18 out of 20. You are looking to get a noble. Oh, you don't need the handmaidens in your army at all. You're at 16 out of 20 then. I guess we could keep you with the eagle for now. Maybe the eagle will be the bodyguard of one of the beast mages. Yeah. And, for siege attacker, you can hold on to the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, putting you to 18 out of 20, 19 when we count the Noble. And then if we want another couple of war lions in there or something, well, then we'll be able to do that. Alright. Then, Arathon, you're at 9 out of 20. Alistar, you, even without the Noble, are free to move and fight. This is more than sufficient. And the Noble will reach you soon, buddy. Meaning we can send you somewhere. Also, who now owns Val's Anvil? Okay, good. Still Nagaroth. How long until you rebel? a little bit. But the reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm willing to wait for these guys to invest in Paul's Anvil and then trade it away from them once it's worth a little bit more. You, go land here. You're gonna pass Mazda Mundi anyway, aren't you? There's an island here. Can't tell who owns it yet. Alright, you. Go steal tech at long last. We could send Alistar to start fighting the Cult of Pleasure, or he is a woodsman, and there are a lot of woods here in Bretonnia. We probably should fix this. Plus, we have the Toralessi reclaimed at Barley Motte. We could conquer this and rename it Toralessi, plus the additional relationship with the other elves from defeating Grom the Paunch would be good for potential confederations in the hopefully near future, specifically and especially with Corhil Lionmane. Also, while we're here, Be'lakor here. He is still there, and yeah, double up on Be'lakor, why not? That's why we're here, after all. Well, that's why we're out there. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, Alistar, then in that light, buddy, we're going to, I guess let's sail immediately. Go this way. Alrighty, Arathon, I guess you need to travel southward again. How many more turns until we can get the princess back up and running? The 2 turns. The chariot princess. Meet her on field. And Iolair, who are you again? Oh, you're the noble that we were going to put into Alistar's army. Go figure. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. And actually, I do want to double check in case there are other nobles available as well. That's a Mist Mage, not a noble. Ruinous, what are you doing? Resilient and Honed. Honed is good as well, as I recall, yeah. +2/+2 for basically everything. And significant experience gain increase to Phoenix Guard and Sisters of Avalorn. It's good. Is it worth 25 influence at this time, however, is the question. Especially considering we are saving up to get the chariot princess this. Tyrannoc patronage. Because it gives her an upkeep reduction minus 15%, and obviously the buffs for the chariots, but just generally speaking, the upkeep reduction is going to be real helpful. So yeah. Maybe not. Anyway, let's fight. Tyrion. Oh, that's you, buddy. Let's level up, and you are almost at Hawkish Precision. You can get the replenished troops, though. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're good. Replenish troops, if you please, and then the mage. Alright, you still have to be replaced with a fire mage. Not that you haven't been doing a great job, you'll just go into a different army. Erection success chance, miscast base chance reaction. Ooh, harmonic convergence, most definitely. Use that constantly non-stop. Comment of Cassandor is much more rare. Let's actually get scouting now. Don't get me wrong, there's other great stuff, but we need more magic items. We could now go through this in order to get favored by Isha or favored by Khaine or whatever it is we desire here. The income from post-battle loot will actually make us a fair amount of money over the course of the campaign because Tyrion's going to be fighting a lot. And I think I prefer that perhaps to just going for your own fighty tree. Don't get me wrong, it's nice. But yeah, let's go logistics into... I guess you don't need Horsemaster. I'm going to assume that we're not going to put you into that army, though if we do, I suppose we could always reset you. So let's get you years of experience for now. And you can't reach anything else anyway, so we're good. Alright, Tyrion, you have the Sword of Khaine, therefore you will attack Dust and Cold Eye. Though, tactically this is not a good move, just by virtue of the fact that you won't be able to go after Be'lakor with reasonable HP remaining in your army. Let's do it anyway, go.
Our enemy will run from us. The flames of Sunfang biting at their heels.
Alright, buddy, you're not using Sunfang, you got the Widowmaker right now, although since the Sword of Khaine takes the form of a different weapon depending on its user, perhaps it looks exactly like Sunfang. Let's go with that. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off with the Madness of Khaine ability and head directly towards the enemy. And is this a good idea? I don't know. The enemy has a Charybdis, which is anti-large here, and 2 Manticores, and generally speaking, a very strong army. Much stronger than ours in terms of just unit quality, just because, well, we're still using basic tier 1 trash and tier 2 trash as our entire force. Can we carry the day? We do have the Sword of Khaine to rely upon, but Tyrion foolishly rushed in with his Curse of Anarion, and though he's hitting hard, he also loses about half of his HP. Now let's see if he can survive. If he can't, well, that's why you don't draw the Widowmaker. In the meantime, though, we have taken position with our range units up on the hill, which gives us a little bit of elevation advantage, while our ship's companies move to engage the enemy Black Ark Corsairs. While the Black Ark Corsairs fight the companies all around, Caradrian will lead his Phoenix Guard to Tyrion's aid. There we go, the captain of the Phoenix Guard laying into the enemy around him, with the Phoenix Guard pushing through to try to get towards that Charybdis and keep it away from Tyrion while he continues to duel the enemy lord. Looks like he has managed to almost close with Mr. Dastan Koldai. And is he still raging? Looks like unbreakable. It looks like Tyrion's rage is done, which means he can actually target the enemy lord. Otherwise, the main line is still engaged. We are trying to focus down the enemy range units with our own, and unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, depending on how you look at it, over on the right flank, our noble has been distracted fighting the units of Doomfire Warlocks here. Without magical damage, however, the massive physical resistance they have is really preventing the noble from doing all that much in the way of damage to them. So he's going to be doing that for a while. Tyrion is down to about 45% of his HP, and Dastan down to about 50% of his, but we hit much harder than he does. So in theory, as long as nothing else closes the distance, we should be able to hold the line. Speaking of holding the line, the Charybdis has been cast down by Caradrian, which once again heroically led his Phoenix Guard into the sort of most dangerous position on the map. Our ship's companies are still holding, but just barely so, all of them at roughly 20% of their HP, and things like Doom Bolts are really not helping the matter, so we're going to have to withdraw these guys, Red Shirt's revenge, lest they get annihilated. Over on the left flank, we have the Black Ark Corsairs, rather than the Black Guard, dueling the Seafoam Slayers here. Also, I do really like the banners specifically for this particular faction. I like the fact that they all have the same banner. It's kind of neat. It's a contrast with us having all different banners, but it does work. Either way, it looks like we do manage to pull this off. Tyrion will ride down and take Dastan Koldai's head, and though this keeps us an extra turn, or will keep us an extra turn away from Be'lakor, I think A, it was worth it, and B, seemed like the appropriate action to take. And this is kind of what I was worried about with Tyrion gaining extra speed. The fact that lords that do this have a tendency to ride or run around the enemy lords. I think on a horse, being faster than about 100 is probably a bad idea. Either way, Tyrion will take Dastan's head, and we will do our best to chase everything down, as some enemy units will remain. Hopefully we can find that accursed armor and slow Tyrion down, because I really would like to not put him on foot if at all possible, because he'll lose all his mass too, and this gets stuck in any amount of infantry rather than dueling monsters and lords in the way that he did here. Alrighty, there we go, a close victory and a frankly pretty great fight against Dastan Koldai, and again I feel like it makes sense for Tyrion with the Sword of Khaine to eschew the tactical decision and instead go just to take the battle. The whispers of the sword are hard to ignore. 18k damage on Tweety, as usual, doing very, very well. The ship's companies got decimated, but unsurprisingly they're much worse than Black Ark Corsairs, with the Seafoam Slayers getting a solid 6,200 damage, and thusly doing the best out of them. And 22k damage on the Keepers of the Flame. I'm sure Caradrian did pretty okay at 7.8k, moving to fighting together with Tyrion, who 21k and 2.8k damage thanks to the Sword of Khaine there, although he won't be able to rely on it for too much longer. Very nice fight, and we got a solid chunk of change out of it. I would like to heal, but I think we can't afford to do so right now. It's just too much money that we're going to need the post-battle loot, because with the recruitment, our post-battle income is just very heavy right now. You leveled 1 level, you're gonna get Rally, and then we can probably level the other guys later. Although you can get word save for the Phoenix Guard, like so. Alright. You are gonna move on in. destroy what remains of this. Hopefully it doesn't damage our Phoenix too much. Please don't be at below half HP. Yeah, it takes you down to half HP. Annoying. And here, yeah, it's 5% healing. It's not enough. Ran some captives, I guess. Helm of Dreska. Well, if you're gonna use one super cursed object, you may as well. Yeah. Tyrion, enjoy, buddy. The Gilded Cuirass is fantastic because of its regeneration, but for now, we will Helm of Dreska you up. Like so. I may swap... No, I'll think about it. Alrighty, there you go. I'm just racking up all the cursedest of stuff. So, this is where Bellicor is and where we want to go, but we're not healthy enough to do it. I think maybe if we go to the Mistnar crossing... Wait, Mistnar crossing is neutral now, so we have to go, like, right here. Man, we won't heal in the sea. And I don't know what kind of army Bellicor has, so it's probably not a good idea to risk it with the ship's companies basically being non-viable right now. I think you're just going to have to sit still where you are. And to see what Bellicor does and cross the water afterwards. Alright, well, it is what it is. Let's then level everybody else. Did you? Huh? Oh, I guess you leveled again. Campaign line of sight plus 100%, let's get that. I would like to see a little bit further. Not enough to hear, though, unfortunately. A bit of a shame, oh well. Handmaiden, you have reached hawkish precision. Good. Lieutenant of the Everqueen, Elven Ranger, Bowmaster, and hawkish precision for the ranged units. Again, unfortunately, this... Oh, right, this does not include the Gate Guard. And Tyrion is actually going to mostly use Gate Guard, which means this is actually not very useful to this army. I'm only now realizing this. Then perhaps the Handmaiden isn't useful in your army at all. It's not really worth it to have hawkish precision just for 2 units, basically. And it's strange that it ignores the Gate Guard. Weird. Alright, hold on to those points then. We're going to probably put you into another army. Elariel could probably use 3 Handmaidens anyway. Anyway. The Mage. This gets base chance reduction, Phoenix buffs. And efficiency, cooldown, reduction, and speed. Actually, if you stay on the chariot, that speed is going to be a pretty good thing to have. Let's get Lilith. Oh, right, I didn't get the last point in scouting. Let's get that. And then you. You have years of experience. Let's, I guess, grab... Wait, this does buff Silver Helms? Oh, a little bit of weapon strength for them. Alright, then yeah, Horsemaster. We're gonna have 4 of those, so good. We will make use of this. Lovely. Alright, Tyrion, then you stay there. Cadrill, you have to leave again. We could, wait, if we disembark, or once we disembark, let's go to march stance.
I like the way.
Yeah, we won't heal here. I think we'll still travel, though. We'll take the little bit of attrition. Oh, okay, I thought that was a rogue army. Oh, wow, this is a terrible army. Oh, did you get the island that was here? You did! Oh, you piece of garbage. Screw you. Okay, well, we're not helping you. I hope you lose the Sledistragon for that. Alright, you can go near to Galleon's Graveyard, heal in our own water, grab that mysterious island, and... maybe we'll land here and deal with a Morgar, though I would like to get his defeat rate on bigger targets, like Eagle Riding Lords and stuff like that. Certainly something that bears thinking about. Next up, we got building, and Alariel's presence. So, what do we have here? Just this, and it's pretty cheap. You have a lot of stuff, though. This is not a lot. Alright, Alariel. You can do this. We will build up you for 800, and the Promenade. Definitely need the public order, and ooh, we're gonna get into pretty bad public order now. And we should fight Tyrion's quest battle, but again, he's too damaged for it right now. I guess we'll go for the Cinnabar. Well, we have a Cinnabar mining pit here. I think maybe then another Craftsman, another Elven Fairground. More money per turn, and more importantly, more construction cost reduction in the place. Alariel, you need to visit every location, so let's send you to Elisali. I take it you need to end the turn in the locations, right? I'm actually not entirely sure. It just says visits. Leaves lingering bonuses on... Okay, so let's do this. Go into Shrine of Loek, and then leave it immediately. I want to see if you have to actually end the turn there. Like this.
Dawn's hope.
Yeah, I don't see the bonuses now. We'll take a look away. Click on something else. Move somebody else. No bonus.
The
Go to
land
Elisele.
of the Everqueen.
We'll see if this has a bonus next time, but we'll end the turn at Elisele like so. Like Elisole.
Archmage. I know
That was
my
terrible. Anyway,
destination.
let's go for the estate here, and then you, Lequin, can move into Port Elistor and then grab both of these. And then I guess since the building here will be completed, like so and like so, we will switch you to growth. Like so. What about here? You're completed for a while as well, so we're free to switch you to growth. Like so. You can, however, stay here as we will be building up these buildings in reasonably short order. Alright, so growth and growth. We also do still have this location, but it's going to be a while. Well, actually, once the recruitment is done, it may warrant moving out here. Alright, well, we'll deal with that in a moment. Well, maybe not a moment. For now, though, let's give a read to the next thing that we were going to read, which was... Let's see, we did the Eagle Claw Bolters, the line of Anarion. Malekith was not the only child of Anarion to survive his father. Indeed, both Morellian and Eataine, Anarion's children by Astariel, survived the massacre of Avalorn. As the demons cloaked the ancient forest in fire, the Everqueen foresaw the doom of her line, and struck alliances to prevent it. So it was the Morellian and Eataine were born from the fray on the shoulders of the mighty tree man known in Avalorn as Oakheart. Satisfied with the escape of her offspring, Astariel remained in Avalorn until the very end, and her fate was so dreadful that the elves refused to speak of it. For decades, Morellian and Eataine were thought dead. With Avalorn in flames and the Everqueen's court slaughtered, this was a reasonable enough assumption. Not until Anarion's death was the fate of his children revealed. Ultimately, Eataine became the new Everqueen, continuing the line unbroken from the dawn of elven civilization. Morellian, however, was content to pass into obscurity. He made no claim upon the Phoenix throne, and retired to Avalorn where he could ensure his sister's continued safety. His line was ever after a troubled one, for it bore Anarion's early light and later darkness in equal measure, yet still brought forth some of the mightiest heroes ever to grace Ulthuan's shores. Alright, what else do we have to do this turn? So, Eataine, okay, so you guys. Eataine will be getting his army from those guys. You cannot trade enough stuff, but we have to... I guess we have to return to Evershale then. So you're going to go to Phoenix Gate. You will proceed here in March stance to get units. There will be more unit swappage, tradage, whatever. Like so. The rest of this looks good to me. Then we're going to go into diplomacy. Anything new? Still no. Well, screw you too, game. Screw you too. What about the rights? We have 24 turns until you. Now, this is irrelevant to us now. It's Invocation of Asuryan that we really want. I don't really care about Invocation of Hoeth. At the very least, not at this time. And I guess there is no need to build anything. Oh, could have upgraded toward Renil. Why did I not do this? I don't know, but I'm going to do it now. Alright, good. And we're not upgrading Phoenix Gate. You're at -18, so next turn after this we will trade you for Vol's Anvil. Although, if we pop the quest battle, funnily enough, you will once again recover. I wish that we had vision of Vol's Anvil, because if I could see it, it would determine whether we should trade for it right now. Though we do need it whensoever we can get it. Anyway. Skip, 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 and turn. And with the rest of the recruitment, I think we're about to go negative in terms of our money. But we're still building everything, so we shall see. Plus, I'm interested in seeing whether we do actually have to end the turn at Elisele or not. Oh, and where Bellicor goes. Too bad he hasn't moved towards us. The AI should think our army pretty weak because we're still using the ship's company. In theory. But at the same time, the AI is a known coward and doesn't like to move unless it thinks that it's going to get a guaranteed win. Also, I just had another thought. Maybe we get another Mist Mage and send him out as a scout to the Empire. Just get trade agreements going with them. And maybe another one all the way to Cathay, although it's going to take like 50 turns to travel up there. Down there, rather.
Powers the world over are mobilizing for war, Prince Tyrion. The waning strength of the Vortex induces those of evil heart to fight for its control, all while the princes at court deal in gossip.
Yeah, some of them deal in gossip, other idiots are in a constant forever war between each other. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, we got the Sunfang battle now available as well. Does anybody know, is the battle still broken, or is it fixed now? It was broken for years, wherein you can't complete the battle and you have to auto-resolve it instead. I'd really like to know, not that we're fighting it right now. Oh wow, Labor Fleet of Uskalak destroyed. Good for them. Not for the Labor Fleet, or whoever destroyed them, I presume Alberic. Really? Did he do that with how crappy army that he had? Impressive. Cloud Coast, you're about to rebel unless we fight something. Blooded Axe Tribe. Oh no. Huh. You're supposed to spawn as close to Tyrion as possible. Ooh. You being a woodsman, this is a good foe for you to fight there. I guess we can land. Damn it, I didn't really want to land here. I'm almost tempted to say, because if we disembark, we'll lose a bunch of our movement range. How far can you travel? You can only go this far anyway. You know what? You can only go this far. We will travel this way. Just do it, whatever.
Standing by.
The noble can pop into your army like so. And we're good. Oh, was there another blurb that I missed? Maybe there was. Okay, I can't do all the blurbs because I'm gonna forget. There's too many at the same time. I will do as many as I can, and I will personally fill in the blanks where I tend to forget things. Alrighty. Then, we still have the Punitive Princess, which would be really great. I just want to see if there's anything useful prince-wise. The dragon one is fine, but it's gonna be absolute ages before we actually get to dragons. We still have the honed guy, which is great for certain armies. And yeah, I was thinking that we send a scout as a mismage out, although 1,500 gold for that. A little bit on the unnecessarily expensive side. Tyrion, is this guy still there? I still see the military presence. We are still damaged, which is something of an issue. Alright, go this way. He's got a half stack. So we're actually free to sail to the wreck. Auto-resolve, it'll probably hurt the ship's companies, but maybe that'll make him fight instead of run. And you know what? Heal up, I guess. I love the money, but at the same time, we're here. We may as well not cross back to where we came from. And then you will not suffer attrition here at the Albion Channel. And then, oh, actually, you will heal here. Oh, that's surprising. Good for you, though. And free bonus XP and stuff. You're level 21 now, which means, importantly, we can get a movable force. Wait. Yeah, ship's companies are out to the rank, or we could get favorable winds. Both are good options. I guess I start with the movable force. It actually does include the Silver Helms, after all. Alright, then, Alistar's in position to fight the next enemy. Kadrill, you are going to... Am I crazy? Was there another island here? Oh, wait, no, that was this island. But you can't take this right now. Go right to the edge of this where you will heal up. And then you will go here, grab this island, and then make landfall in Bretonia. We'll see if any of them remain alive. And, oh no, Gentleman Jenkins, decent likelihood he sinks Ingmir's convoy, but we'll see. Kadrill, you will heal here, not quite to full, unfortunately, but you have replenished troops maxed out, so not much we can do about that. And you... you have no further heal. You do have further healing in Renowned if you can go through this. Alright, but it's obviously more important that we get Hawkish Precision. Actually, out of curiosity, does Hawkish Precision affect Illyrian Reaver Archers? It does not. Okay, well, fair enough. I didn't expect it to be perfectly honest, but I did want to check nonetheless. Alariel, so... Yeah, okay, so we do have to end the turn here. I just wanted to know that for sure. You, Lothern, are now good and growing. So I think what we'll do is this. You're gonna go here. We will build this. And then... How much money is this gonna cost? 3.5k. We could move over there and reduce it considerably, but by the time we get there, this would probably have been constructed already. How many turns? No, actually, it would only take one extra turn. Yeah, we can spare one turn. Alright, fine, go this way then. I think I'm reasonably happy with that, and then this place will be upgradable in 3 turns, but we'll leave Alariel here. Alariel, go into the Shrine of Loek, end the turn there, and then we'll head to Lother and do the same thing. Although it may be more beneficial to actually head to Safari now that I think about it. But we shall see. Arathond. You guys, okay, so you're picking up those eagles and those sky cutters. Okay, so yeah, you guys are gonna move in here.
Seeking truth.
How many more turns until the princess is up and running? One? Yes, good, perfect. Alrighty, Bellinaire.
Illumination.
I would like you. Okay, wait. Trade those Ulthuan sky cutters to you, and take these guys. Actually, not sure that we need the regular spears anymore. That I think about it. Well, we can eventually replace them with exalted spears. Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, we should now have access to this level, right? Including Eagle Claws. Just the one, but still better than nothing. What do exalted... wait, what do exalted Silver and Guard do? Martial Prowess, Pursuit of Battle, Asura Form ranks. They have Dampen on them. Negate magical weapons. Oh, that's pretty good. We should probably have a couple of these in many armies. Huh. I was going to give a Tyrion a couple of Sea Guard, but Dampen is quite valuable. That bears thinking about, and I also note we got access to our first Exalted Tyrannog chariots, which are fantastic. Unlike the regular Tyrannog chariots, Tyrion chariots, we should rename one of them to that. These guys have Frostbite on their ranged attacks, which is just glorious. Anyway, what I'd like to see is, so yes, we do have access to another Exalted Elven Ranger, the first of our Exalted Sea Guard, and our Exalted Shadow Warriors. And just the one chariot, unfortunately. We'll just need to wait until somebody else is rank 20 so that we can build up another one. I'm willing to bet to that either K-Drill or... well, actually, Alistair will probably reach it much sooner. Anyway, Pinnacle of Civilization. I'm actually going to say go for trade advancements. Get the additional diplomatic relations. I would like Coral on the map a little bit faster. And this... oh... we will want to get this, but eventually. Also, did I forget to move you? No, I did not. Alright, go this way. Surprised these guys haven't declared war on us, but it was only a matter of time anyway. And I see Morathi here. She appears to not be having such a good time against Mazdamundi and the Exiles of Nehek. Huh. Well, unfortunate for her. Growth for all province. Oh, that's actually very valuable to us. Yeah, we gotta send an army over there. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Whatever army comes after Tyrion and I guess Alistair, since he's now here and going to Bretonnia, is probably going to go deal with Morathi. That makes sense to me. Alright. What about... okay, we don't have any more blurbs right now, right? Just have to double check and triple check as needed. Yeah, we're looking okay. Okay, building. We have Avalorn, and we're waiting on that, and there's nothing further. We are waiting for the last of the recruits here, minus Arathond, who will now take the Eagles. Oh, he can take them next turn with these guys. Yeah.
Servant of the Tower.
We need another lord because we can't trade every unit. Unfortunately, it's a bit annoying, but whatever. You guys can just sit here and channel. It's going to cost us a little bit of cash, but there's not much we can do about it because the... you know what? You can save us like 300 or 400 gold by doing this. Yeah. Being garrisoned is quite valuable. Anyway, skip. Keep imminent rebellion in... oh, it's here at the Twisted Glade. I guess now then maybe is a good time to Twisted Trade it for Vol's Anvil, since we're not popping off the thing. Although these guys might once again be building it up to tier 3. What we could do then is do this. If we fight the quest battle, for example, next turn, we should still be able to keep it for another couple of turns. So I think we'll do that then. Outpost available, don't care because it's with other High Elves, and actually, wait. The one at Tori Vress may actually have value because maybe we can build some of these guys. This is construct outpost. Frankly, I would like some Athel Tamarha Faith Bearers in the Swords Master and Lore Master army. Just lots of swords, basically. Just stabbing jerks wherever you go. Anyway, I believe we're good. End turn now. Let's see if Gentleman Jenkins declares war on us to sink our convoy. Not much we can do about the fleets. The rogue fleets. At least not until we are... until we have much stronger convoys. Which is why I've been refusing to spend influence to get more money. Although our money situation isn't too bad right now. Frankly, we need growth more than money directly, though obviously as soon as a territory grows, then we'll just have to end up spending all our money upgrading it. Alright, haven't read a blurb in a while. Torfanu stands on the northern edge of the Finneval Plain, adjacent to the majestic Skyhaven Plateau. The city, which historically belonged to the Kingdom of Yvresse, is currently part of the Kingdom of Safari. It is renowned not only for its strategic location and stunning architecture, but also for its unique contribution to the High Elven economy through the production and exportation of iron. Huh. Pyrrhic victory? I think this is the auto-resolve lying in our favor. Now, we could cheat, auto-resolve, and win this, but alas, I don't believe in doing that. So we're going to fight this, and contrary to what the auto-resolve is saying, we are going to lose. These guys have very solid stats. I think what's happening here is that because this is a modded lord, the auto-resolve doesn't understand what these units are. Damn, 17k HP on those buccaneers with great weapons. Ugh. Yeah. That is what it is. Come. Last stand of Ingmir Convoy. I expected. Oh, I wish I remembered which one you were. At least you were. Oh, at least you were the lower rank one. Anyway, go.
No challenge has ever defeated members of Bel Shanar's order. This one won't either.
Alright, I feel like this one might, buddy. Ingmir is sounding a little bit arrogant as this is his convoy's last stand. Outnumbered 2-1, we have a little chance of victory here. We will, however, give it the old college try. Now, what we do have an advantage around is the fact that we have a cavalry unit and the enemy does not, and it looks like we got a map where there's a decent amount of wooded area, which also works a fair bit in our favor here. Wooded area means our wood elves, which make up most of this army, and we'll have at least some advantage. Speaking of the wood elves, or actually everybody, we have hidden all of our units over on the right side of the map in the wood. Then we revealed our units of Knights of the Realm, and since the enemy army couldn't see anybody else, they head towards the Knights of the Realm instead, which was the plan. Then, as soon as the enemy army was separated, we hide the Knights of the Realm again, they are hidden, and then the enemy army will react to the rest of our army. And by the looks of it, over on the flank, several of their units have separated, and thusly hopefully we can, pincushion these guys, kill them off, reducing the enemy numbers effectively by 2 at the cost of nothing. Another thing to keep in mind is that in this particular battle, we face these buccaneers and the Gentleman Jenkins pirates. They are all aquatic units, and we can't be engaging them in the water. Granted, we do have a couple of Lothern Sea Guard, which are also aquatic, but otherwise, yeah, let's not give the enemy advantages. Now, Buccaneers with great weapons. In a one-on-one, they are vastly superior, it seems, to the Eternal Guard with shields, which will not hold, so we'll just do our best to pincushion them. In the meantime, though, while these guys are being destroyed, what we have done is use our fastest moving units, our War Dancers with their 55 speed, to rush around like this, away from enemy potential cannon fire, and again through the woods, to get ready to move towards all of the enemy artillery and the enemy blunderbusses / handgunners. Our Knights of the Realm, now no longer hidden, will push towards the enemy and meet the enemy backlines with the War Dancers, while we do our best to distract as many enemies as possible with our Sea Helm and whatever else we can get. 2 units have been destroyed, but we are still 18 enemy units to 10 of ours, and the numbers are still nowhere near in our favor. First charge comes in from our Knights and couldn't quite push through the enemy, so we're just going to peel away and push through and not go into the water, which will slow us down. There we go, that's much better. Push through 2 units, deal about 25% damage to them, and then go to the next and do about 20, maybe 15% damage to them. And it's now time to bounce between as many units with our Knights as possible, never stopping, well, just generally speaking, never stopping, and most importantly, not allowing the enemy blunderbusses to get off a shot. At least that's the plan. It looks like we are dishing out some damage. First, the blunderbusses take damage as one of our war dancers has closed the distance and hacks them apart extremely rapidly, much faster than the knights. Our other unit of war dancers has torn to shreds the enemy artillery pieces and, or at the very least, forced their crew off the artillery. 3 enemy units are otherwise going to be held back by our second unit of war dancers. And the enemy will take a while to break them because with 70 melee defense, thanks to the Shadow's Coil, plus the additional ward save, they have 45 total. And it's going to be a long time for the enemy to cut them down, even with all the damage and number advantages that they have. In the meantime, as long as those guys are tied up, our knights will keep riding through any enemy units while our second, or technically our first unit of war dancers surrounds Gentleman Jenkins and hopefully tears him apart if the knights don't continue punting him away from our forces. We've done this little trick before, wherein we surrounded an enemy footlord with the war dancers. Thanks to their anti-infantry bonuses and reasonably decent armor-piercing damage, they will break Gentleman Jenkins rather quickly and force him away. Our knights keep charging. And it looks like the balance of power has actually slightly shifted in our favor, but that's only in the center of the map. Back here, surprisingly, the pirate deckhands have turned the Eternal Guard to shreds, which have moved off the map now, and we have been forced to move the Lothern Sea Guard into the melee just to hold the enemy back. This portion of our army is effectively acting as a distraction force, including our Sea Helm here, just to keep them fighting as long as possible with his aura. In the meantime, we have also moved away 2 of our units of Glade Guard, which again are faster moving units than our High Elves, and are leading away 2 units of Buccaneers. Unfortunately, one of the Glade Guard does get caught, but the other one continues to lead them away. And the reason for this is that as long as they're being led away, they're not fighting, they're not contributing to damage, and it's allowing our War Dancers and our Knights to continue doing the work. Just trying our best to keep the enemy locked down while our damage dealers... There we go. Are able to have free reign over those enemies. Lovely. And it looks like these 3 units have also been destroyed. Our Glade Guard has... our damaged Glade Guard is returned, and we now are able to move our War Dancers, which were previously chasing around Gentleman Jenkins, to intercept the 2 units that we were kiting around, sort of, with our Glade Guard. Not really quite kiting around, just because the... well, I mean, sort of. What was happening essentially is that we were just leading the enemy away. However, we were doing it in such a way whereas one unit was leading one enemy in a way that the second unit was leading the second enemy but could fire forward at the first unit. And therefore, we were getting at least some mileage thanks to fire whilst moving on the units of Glade Guard. They can only fire while moving forward, which is why we set it up so that there was a column, essentially, of leading enemy units away and can fire into the backs of the others. But anyway, I digress. The War Dancers cut down another unit of Buccaneers, and it looks like the Eternal Guard and Lothern Sea Guard are breaking. We're going to back our Sea Helm off so he doesn't die here. And the enemy still has its non-rotting regular Prometheans, 91 melee defense. We're basically completely ignoring these guys, or we're ignoring these guys, with the exception of having the Sea Helm attack them. And otherwise we're just holding ground. They're just going to have to do their best to continue to hold, but we're looking to kill off Gentleman Jenkins and morale shock the rest of the army. Last little bit of our arrows on our Glade Guard. The War Dancers and the Knights of the Realm will all give chase to him to try to get the rest of the enemy army to shatter. It's still fairly close, but the balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor, and it looks like with Gentleman Jenkins shattered, the rest of his army, together with army losses, shatters, and the battle, surprisingly, is ours. I guess the Sea Helm was right after all. No challenger has something Belshazzar's order, and this one didn't either. A very, very nice fight. And while we did suffer extremely severe casualties on several units, including our Glade Guard, both of the Eternal Guard, which are down to 20 troops or something like that, and looks like we survive. And I don't think we actually lost any unit. Plenty model losses, but no direct unit losses. Although I don't imagine this army will be fighting fit for any other battles. Anyway, very, very nice work, Ingmir. Ingmir, yes. Oh, there we go. I am genuinely a little bit shocked that we managed to pull that off. I guess the auto-resolve does know something after all in some rare cases, as it did predict a Pyrrhic victory here. Nonetheless, I think the auto-resolve was still lying by virtue of the fact that it doesn't understand modded units like this, and Gentleman Jenkins just outnumbered us literally 2-1. We have a half stack, they have full stack, artillery, etc, etc. Luckily, we did get a map with some woods on it, which the wood elves were able to put to great use here. Unfortunately, we couldn't, by virtue of the fact that we were horrifically outnumbered and outclassed in many ways. Couldn't fight it in the sort of rule of cool manner that I usually fight battles, as in ordered battle lines and all that sort of stuff, and had to run around all over the map like maniacs, but at the end of the day, it's what had to be done to pull it off, and obviously the other way would have been to, you know, corner camp and cheese it, but I don't do that, so this is the only way. And it looked like it worked out well with the guerrilla tactics of the Wood Elves, supported by the single unit of Knights of the Realm, allowing us to destroy Gentleman Jenkins, despite being so overwhelmingly outnumbered. 404 kills and 33k damage on these War Dancers. Absolutely magnificent. They have certainly earned their stripes, though if we get attacked again, I don't know if we're viable. 2.5k, eh? 10% replenishment. It's really not that much. It's really not that much. I'm gonna say just take the money. I really don't think this is gonna make any kind of difference if we get attacked by a full stack. And we always take the money. Hello, what do we have here? Courtiers are often expected to spend large stretches of time at court, living and operating under the suffocating political intrigue of Lothern. The messengers of the Phoenix King are able to weave through the lodgings of the courtiers and disseminating information that helps or hinders them. Likewise, the king can make life comfortable for certain courtiers or extremely unpleasant. All is at his whim. Faction-wide happy populace? Yeah, that's what we're doing. It's for influence, who cares? And this will help counteract some of the negative populace that we had. You have got to be kidding me. It is another battle. That said, it is a battle against the rats. Alright, Ingmar Convoy, this is your day. We will have to keep the Eternal Guard back, but... Oh, these are all spears? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, either way, we have no choice. Go.
Asuryan watches us from the heavens and sees our brilliant ranks of peerless warriors to victory!
I'm surprised that the Sea Helms don't call on Mathland more, but anyway, they are the Asur after all. So, I guess it does make sense. Either way, here we go once again. Ingmar has another battle in front of him. Was this a mistake, perhaps? But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Fortunately, clan rats aren't super threatening to war dancers, and they should be able to mince plenty of them. The actual threatening units in this army are actually the 2 units of wolf rats, which we are going to have to divert our war dancers to try to hunt down. They will charge our Eternal Guard in trying to attempt to reach the archers, which they would tear apart if we let them. So our Sea Helm and our War Dancers are going to work on the ones over on the right flank, and the Wolf Rats over on the left flank will be taken out by our Knights and our other unit of War Dancers. Our healthy unit, well, healthy, half HP, less than half HP unit of Eternal Guard is going to hold back the tide of clan rats, while arrows come down upon them from whatever units we can spare. We'll see how effective that is, but we do have the Knights to help out. They're going to charge right in. Looks like the blob is a little bit too thick to charge through them all. This is, after all, just a unit of Knights of the Realm and not a unit of Grail Knights, but still, I'm sure that did plenty of damage. In the meantime, our Sea Helm has moved towards the enemy Warlord, who has foolishly peeled away from his clan rats. If he had stayed there, he might have actually been able to force our unit of Eternal Guard to rout. Unfortunately for him, the Sea Helm, and once again surrounding him with the War Dancers, defeats the Warlord, and it's not looking so good for the Skaven. Several of the enemies did attempt to come back, rally and attack us, like the Wolf Rats, but we simply turn our Glade Guard and our Lothern Sea Guard around and pincushion them with arrows as best we can, to prevent them from achieving anything else. The bounce power has shifted to about 90% in our favor. It does look like this unit of the Wolf Rats will actually hit the Glade Guard, though fortunately for us, Glade Guard are fairly decent in terms of melee attack, and between them and the countercharge from the Eternal Guard with shields, the severely damaged, barely viable Eternal Guard with shields sees the enemy run away. Alright, and it looks like one blob of clan rats remains. Another couple of charges from the Knights should see them rout though. There we go, rear charge sees 3 of them out. 4th follows suit as the rats see the rest of their broodkin rout. 1 unit remains still in the fight, a unit of Night Runners. And admittedly, none of our units are close to them, so we're just going to have to peel away the Knights to chase them down, and hopefully that will force them to shatter and give another battle to Ingmar. This is definitely his episode, as he has won here. Granted, we got some great fights out of Tyrion, and I was originally going to call this episode something like, I don't know, Whispers of Khaine or something after that attack on Dastan Cold Eye, but Ingmar kind of stole the show at the end here. I hope he survives, because I'm pretty sure he still has a bunch of turns left to travel after this. I really need some extra units in this convoy to be able to travel further, especially if we are to encounter more of those sea-going rogue armies. Anyway, a lovely fight. The rats destroyed. Really could use more XP/levels, but what can you do? Alright, another win for frickin' Ingmar Convoy. This is definitely his episode. I'm very curious to see whether he survives his journey. Though I somewhat resent the fact that defeating a full stack last battle only gave him 1 level, and then this gave him a half a level. I mean, this at least is an even fight, but against Gentleman Jenkins, I feel like we deserved more than we got. Bit of a shame there. I'm actually going to execute captives here. Take the 1000 XP. I think it's necessary. All right, then Princess. Oh, good, Princess is back. You will make us negative in terms of money, but you're an exemplar, so you might actually not, because once we transfer to you all these chariots.
What orders?
Yeah, ready for duty, technology research, good. Glittering Host, Lothern, Skycutters, and Tyrannoc Chariots, we'll give those a read later. Creation Scout, Faction, Skaven destroyed. Then, you, Princess, will take the Eagle Claws and the Tyrannoc Chariots. You will then transfer... Yeah, something of Safari. You will... Nope, wrong guy. Transfer to Hennemara, the... Thelmar Chariots and the Tyrannoc Chariots. Actually, funnily enough, the Treekin and the Dryads might actually be a pretty solid choice here, now that I think about it. Arathond, you...
Starting out.
Will... Wait. Bellinair.
Knowledge awaits.
You will transfer to Arathon. Wait, no. You... Okay, you know what? I'll figure who transfers what between the episodes. That's just going to annoy you guys. Wait, this is Yelgren Convoy. Okay, wait, was it... Where's Ingmar Convoy? Huh? Oh, okay. You're down here, buddy. How you doing? Wait. Oh, right. Getting 1,000 XP is divided evenly amongst the troops, meaning that didn't really do anything for us, did it? Well, that's a shame. Hidden stores to replenish, but you can only slightly get another point in that, and that's all we got. Somebody in the previous episode, or possibly the episode before that, asked if we could use any of these on any of these armies. By the looks of it, this army is not on land. Lead by experience on land. Target army belonging to you with at least 10 units. That's got 9 units, doesn't it? Just out of curiosity, if anything will work on you. Target army belonging to you. Wait, target settlement belonging to you, damn it. Armies replenished in foreign territory, but must be in our own allied territory. And yeah, there's nothing. Perhaps one before the convoy moves out, because they start on land, and we can still do this, but the rest of this, unfortunately, is not available. So, Ingmar, good luck. You're just going to have to proceed in your current fashion. As to whether you succeed remains, well, to be seen. Oh, that's our Muta now. Good job. Good job, buddy. And you're only fighting Clan Spittle. That's almost surprising. Perhaps then, if you keep them busy, they won't attack us. Anyway, we are obviously very much out of time, and I'm going to call this episode here. I'll figure out the troop swappage between the episodes, though, funnily enough, with Henamara getting some of Valerial's stuff, mostly just the Treekin, she'll actually be pretty much ready to go as another army immediately. I would like to get the Exalted Bolt Throwers, though the first one maybe will go to... I feel like the first one should go to Cadrill here. Okay, Cadrill. I was going to give her a Bolt Thrower, because she has no siege attacker, so we'll have to replace one of the Sea Guard, and then one or two of the other Sea Guard we're going to get replaced by a by Gate Guard anyway. Granted, we can't build a Gate Guard, but we will eventually be able to do so. Anyway, armies are starting to get pumped out. Cadrill and Tyrion are ready, but Alistar has got his new nearly complete army ready to go and fight some Beastmen and then fight whoever he encounters in Britonia.
Servant of the king.
Tyrion will attack Bellicor next episode / next turn, and hopefully that works out, and then possibly do his quest battle. And we will most likely get 2 armies moving out of this as well, so I think we will have some more fights going forward, and frankly, we're getting a lot of battles now, so in this particular episode, so perhaps that won't be of any surprise. Anyway, more Tyrion to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the double episode. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.